everybody, how you doing? This is Frank with Frankly Horse Racing, and I'm just going to do a quick actual recap of this weekend. There are a lot out there and a lot of opinions about the Preakness race and what happened, who caused the incidents or whatever. But basically, well, my mind's changed a little bit, but basically I'm just going to do the same thing, but there's enough out there so I won't go too far. Just kind of give you my thoughts and feelings. As they came around the turn, you could see, and we'll show this on video in a moment, Rispoli trying to decide what to do. Now, I think he needs to make quicker decisions. In the Kentucky Derby, everything happened so fast that he really didn't have a lot of time to think about it and decide what to do. But then he got him out of trouble in pretty good fashion. In the race before that, the Santa Anita Derby, he also got into trouble. Now, was that Rispoli's fault, or was that race riding where they pinned him in? I would say it's a little bit of both at that point. So I'm going to say maybe he could have done a little better job in the Santa Anita Derby, but with 5 horses, he was able to overcome, also with a couple tiring horses that helped him get around and out. And then you get to the Derby, everything happened so fast, pinballing, but then he recovered him and really gave a pretty good run. Maybe moved a smidge early, but it's easy for me to say, sitting here behind a microphone and making those decisions. The same thing with Sovereignty and Alvarado Jr. getting fined 62 grand for excess whipping when it was only a couple extra whips. I don't want any horse abuse. I've said that before, or any kind of abuse. But let's be honest, any of us coming down the stretch trying to win the Kentucky Derby or a Breeders' Cup Classic, something of this level, how many are you going to be counting your whip strokes? Or even thinking about it, honestly. But the same thing here. So things happen quick. We're humans. The computer, like mine this week during chemo week's not great. But you got to make second decisions. Now we come into this race also, and I think Umberto got into some more issues. Clearly, when I first saw the race, and the video I posted the other day, the brief one when I was at the baseball game, I really thought the majority of it was all Pratt trying to pin him in, keep him from coming out, with some bad luck also with the 8 tiring and coming back. Well, as he's trying to accelerate, the 8's coming back, 1's coming over. But the more I watch, I definitely see that Rispoli had a chance, and you could see, I'm just saying what I think he was thinking, was inside, outside, inside, outside. Okay, let's just sit on the inside path, where a lot of times it does open up. In this case, you had a horse tiring quick. You had another horse that, hey, was he initially pulled over to try to pin you? I don't know. Kind of looked like it to me. But then you had to bull your way through. You hit the one horse goal-oriented a bit sideways, and then you see Pratt trying to pull the one over. So yeah, I think it was a bit of bumper cars, and I think a lot of it was actually caused by the 2, and with better decisions. And you saw the way the horse closed. Even if you looked at the numbers themselves, I mean, as I said, I did take a shot I only used 2 horses. Like I said, I used journalism, and I'm talking about for the win. I clearly used the 9. I gave him out as a long shot of mine underneath, but not on the win. I only used the 6 horse for Thames and journalism, and I did that because, like I said, if journalism came back sore, not 100%, I thought that was the only horse that had the past and the numbers to beat him. Now, coming up the stretch, we all saw that and went, holy crap. I personally have, I've seen the Gate Dancers and a Fleet Alex, and everybody's talking about him, but this one was pretty crazy, right? And I'm just glad no humans or equines were injured or killed. That was a pretty hairy, dangerous situation that happened. So, again, I'm glad that happened, but he reminds me a lot of I'll Have Another. I may have said that before because he continues to come, and for him to come and get Gosker like that was, with that little bit of time left, was honestly pretty amazing. Now, how much does he have left for the Belmont? I don't really know, and I guess McCarthy will let us know. And he's a good horseman, good trainer. Unless the owner strong arm him going forward to the Belmont, if he's in good condition, I think he's going to run him. I think the owners will want to run him. If he's not, at least 90-95%, I just don't see them bringing him back. There's just too much at risk. And let's face it, we're talking about dollars and cents besides the horse's goodwill. So we'll just have to wait and see what kind of field comes in. When we do a quick review of this race coming up, just think about this for a quick exercise. If you didn't know any names of the horses, you didn't know their jockeys, their trainers, and I did bump up River Thames a little bit. Besides, he had the closest competitive numbers by me, my thoughts to journalism, but he was getting IRAD. Let's talk about that real quick. I was kind of disappointed. I knew halfway through that race there was no way he was getting there or even hitting the board probably. He was wide the whole way. I think IRAD either needed to commit to the front or let him sit behind those two front runners going at it. So I'm not exactly sure. He's one of my favorite jockeys, and this is just my opinion. And he might have been under orders. Who knows? That guy can ride. I clearly can't. And no horse wants me on their back, that's for sure. But River Thames I knew was over. But anyway, if we take out all the ratings, the time forms, the buyers, whatever you're looking at, and just looked at race setup, there was only two horses that even had a close that could have won that race, and that was Sandman, who only had one really good number and a perfect setup. The rest were good numbers, but not good enough to beat journalism in any day of the week, or even River Thames in most time. But everybody else was front speed or press front speed, and then you only have two closers, and then you got one of the best horses in the country, and definitely top one or two in the 3-year-old division. So, yeah, I mean, if you take all that stuff out and just look at it, you were able to eliminate a lot of the horses. So I ran everything through journalism and River Thames to hope we get a little better price there, but I was taken care of with Gosser under there. But still, that's one thing I want you to kind of look at, and we all, even those of us been doing it for a while, is sometimes you forget to look, sometimes you can look too hard at the race shape and overthink it, and other times you don't. In this case, it was pretty easy to see how it was probably going to set up, and the new shooters were really younger horses that have only been out a few times and ran pretty good numbers, but they still had to keep climbing, and they were off their last race, their peak numbers. So they could either go back or take another small step forward, probably, which still doesn't beat journalism. So that's kind of the way I saw the race. We'll see who's running the Belmont. I don't see a lot of speed of the horses possibly running at the Belmont, so there's a lot of come from behind horses. So we'll just have to wait over the next week or two to see how it shakes out. Then we'll look at the race, see if journalism's in. I think he'll definitely be the favorite if he is. Sovereignty should be a close-up second, because you're going to get a lot of juice being the Derby favorite and a lot of juice by winning the Derby, unless it was something like a Rich Strike where most people then didn't believe into it. So anyway, we'll go over this race in just a moment, and we'll have more coming up this week. Again, as I said, not that it's anybody's or no excuse, I guess, for not having as many shows. We'll see how the week pans out. It is my chemo week, and then we had a death in family, so next week we'll see how that goes too, but I'll just do something from on the road. But we'll still keep looking. I'll still get a Pace Makes the Race of the Day, hopefully get a live one this week, and maybe put out a few shorts. So let's get into this quick replay of what happened. Everybody's seen it, I will make it quick. And then we'll get into this week, and I hope everybody has a great week. But let's get into it now, and we'll catch it coming out of the turn, or right into the turn, right about that point. I can't remember exactly where I cut it, and we'll see and walk through what happened. But we did see the unbelievable close and stride lengths. David Aragona put that out actually on Twitter. /X, whatever you call it. I'm old school, still calling it Twitter, but the stride length and everything and his close time was pretty freaking incredible, to be honest with you. But anyway, let's get into this race right now. Okay, so we're at the point here where at this point of the race, Rispoli is just decided to go inside. When they had the over drone angle, you could see that he was moved down the 3 to 5 path, and he was trying to make his decision there. Now, if he goes to the outside, he is going to go about 4 wide, 5 wide, maybe even 6 wide, or he can stay on the inside and then hope that he gets a hole. Now, keep an eye coming inside. As he decided to do that, number 8, Clever Again, is going to tire pretty badly as journalism is starting to excel. And then keep an eye on the 1, and you can decide whether Pratt is coming over and trying to box him in not once but twice, or he tried once and then journalism bulled his way through and kind of hit the 1 a little bit in the hind quarter, which will definitely throw him off. So let's take a look from here. All right, so here we come in. Gosger's doing a great job stalking the 8 horse and putting him to bed. And now there's no hole. So Pratt's trying to hold him in. Now right here, did Pratt do that, or was it because journalism hit his hind? I'm almost thinking it's the latter. From here on in, though, I was thinking, well, Gosger's home, and I didn't use him on any ticket. Even though journalism was the favorite, that's who I was looking for. But you can see the length of his strides, amazing. And Gosger, let me pause that there. So I'll just say this real quick before we end this, is first of all, make your own decision on what happened in that turn. I can tell you different things, but, we all see things differently. At this point here, it's looking pretty hairy for all. And I'm pretty surprised Jose Ortiz didn't get thrown over the rail. But anyway, so coming home, the big strides, Gosger really ran a beautiful race. And if you look at his strides, I'll rerun it from here, he wasn't really slowing down a heck of a lot on his strides, but journalisms were extending and extending. And from here, now he finally gets him going. He runs by Sandman like nothing. So I was definitely very impressed with the 9, how he wore the speed down and kept coming. Nobody else with speed stayed. And what a finish. There's your prices. And anyway, so that's my analysis. It's totally up to you. You can make your decision on what you think. But again, like I said in my short video, either way, I may be having a solid talk or throwing some hands in the jockey's room. Okay, so that is kind of how I saw the race. I want to just ask everybody, if you haven't subscribed yet, but you've seen the video and you like what we're starting to do here, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it and help me grow this thing. I'd like to get to 500 subscribers within the next 30 days and hopefully more. If you can help me do that, I would really appreciate it. I hope you have a great week. We'll get some more content out there this week. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.